Arctic Queen. Today we're going to be replacing this Arctic Queen unit with this BTU Serenity Series. I'm hoping that this is wide enough to fit in the window properly without issues like we have now. On this one, the side panels are about 2 inches too short. That's why there's that cardboard mess on the right side. Yes, I certainly have better things to use than this, but I kind of want to see how long this will last if you take care of it. So I want to get it going again this year and put some more hours on it and see what happens. And we do have Kevin joining us today for this video. He'll be coming in a moment. So this was purchased last year, and I used it quite a bit last year. It was in the kitchen for a while, and then it was in the bedroom for a while. And I put quite a few hours on it. Did drill a drain hole, so it's got proper drainage. There's not water sitting in the condenser area the whole time, like it would be by design. And in theory, the water in the condenser helps to cool all this nonsense, but the bottom line is it rusts out the unit, and the rust is not worth whatever gain in efficiency there is from the water being in there. So I drill the hole and take the water out. We'll have to put this on along with the side curtains, which I'll have out of the frame, ready to go. Okay, here's the machine. So we'll go ahead and turn this thing on just to make sure that it's still working. Move it over to here so it reaches the outlet. It's pretty heavy for a newer machine. It's got one of these GFI plugins. Test it. It's working. Okay, so I gotta go back downstairs to get the remote, and we're gonna need a screwdriver to put the top piece on for the side curtains. But here's the remote, which by some miracle I did not lose since last summer. And we're not putting Duratrash, Duracell, Leakacell, Junkacell batteries in there because those will ruin it. Let's see if these are charged up. Oh. Okay, wasn't quite ready for that yet, but it's on. Goes all the way down to 61, which is lower than a lot of other electronically controlled units.
Wow, that is astonishing.
So we'll just make sure that it charges up and works before we go through the trouble of putting it in the window. That's it. That's all the noise it makes. That's pretty quiet. Plus, a lot of that noise is the condenser fan.
That's amazing.
For something newer, it is. And it's pretty good airflow out of the condenser, too. It's a good size condenser, also. I think we said it was a Quingan compressor. It's actually got a compressor blanket on it, so we can't tell now, but from the teardown, I think I recall it being a Quingan.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I could see it. It seems like there's almost a window in the blanket. It's already blowing out heat. Yeah, the inside fan is, I can't even hear it.
It's almost inaudible. The only problem with this machine, and this is a design flaw, is that on medium and high it puts the condenser fan to full speed, and it's very noisy. If you have a good insulated window, it keeps the noise out. If you don't, the noise comes in. It should have spent more time designing a better fan blade for that condenser unit. Now this, I think, is gas 32. It's allowed 4.5 amps, and it is made on 2/2021. So it was old stock. I bought it last year.
Oh, really?
It was 2 years before it sold, which is not a good sign. And it's a CER of 12.1, which is kind of high for this form factor. And I'm fairly certain it's gas 32. Yeah, it's gas 32, 10.4 ounces. I have zero experience with gas 32. Never worked with it, probably never will.
I think it's mildly flammable.
I think it's extremely flammable.
Well, 290 is extremely flammable because it's propane, but I think there's a small amount of butane in this or something. It's a blend. Ken, if you're watching, let us know.
Or what's the other guy, Allen?
Oh, David Allen.
David Allen would be able to tell us what the molecular breakdown of 32 is probably. That guy's a walking encyclopedia of this stuff.
And how?
It's blowing cold already. Yeah, that's real cold.
Oh, wow.
Now, if we go to the medium speed, the indoor fan is still quiet. We're listening to all the condenser noise.
That's kind of dumb.
It is. Now, granted, it's moving a ton of air, and it runs very cool. And the airflow is the same back there, but it does make a lot of noise.
Oh, wow. That's kind of dope.
They should have put a much quieter fan on there. See, the inside fan is so quiet you can't even hear the difference between medium and low. It's just 100% drowned out by the condenser.
Doesn't make sense. The heat load is higher.
And ironically, it will ice up on low if it's cold out. So, whatever. But it's working. It survived the storage period. Of course, the fan has to run for a couple seconds afterwards because that just does whatever. That's cool. I just found out that lamps don't work if they're not plugged in. Oh, copyright, copyright.
Nice save. Okay. Looks like it has a decent coat of paint on the outside too.
Actually, you know, the blade doesn't look too bad. I don't know why it's so loud. No, something's not quite right with the design of the condenser fan. But it looks clean. I don't recall, I must have, no, I did clean it last year. I cleaned it before I put it away. So it's clean, it's ready to go. It's got the drain hole that I installed right there under the channel, so absolutely zero water can get back there. The only problem is, which I noticed last year, is because we got all this opening here when it rains, sometimes water gets in back past where the hole is. So I guess in theory I should drill another one, but
I think you did. I thought I saw 2 holes on the bottom of it.
I might have fixed it. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like you went back and you redid it.
Oh yeah, so I did fix it. Okay, perfect. So now we got to install the that apparatus for the side curtains, whatever it's called. You know what this thing is called?
No.
Me either.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
No,
testing
I
it.
have no idea what this is called. How do you call this? Does somebody know?
It's the thing.
The side curtains thing.
I don't know. Window bar maybe.
Well, if you don't know, you don't know. I'll just make something up.
Yeah, but it's more fun that way. Well, that's nice that the screws go in from the top rather than the inside like the old fetters do.
Yep. This is fairly easy to take apart and service still.
This is probably the last good modern unit you can get.
That's why I really want to see how long it lasts. Performance-wise, it's decent, but will it last?
I hope it doesn't break. You certainly don't have any other units to put in its place if that happens.
If this breaks, it's going to be a hot, humid
That's
summer.
it. Oh no! Oh, luckily there's a drain hole in it.
You think that screw will drain out?
Well, I'll pour some water in it. We'll see.
This should have been such a simple task.
You don't by any chance happen to have a magnet on a stick, do you?
Oh, of course, but who knows where it is?
Oh, nice save.
I don't need no magnets on sticks. I really have not noticed any rust on here since last year. But there's a drain hole, so that should be expected.
Novel concept.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yes, yes, yes. We know you get a little tiny bit better efficiency with the no drain hole because the water splashes on the condenser.
Yeah, I already
but-
explained that while he was in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta clean the filter.
You gonna put it in when it's dry, or?
No, I'm gonna put in what's wet.
Oh well, then you're gonna get codes if you do that. It's not gonna get as cold.
What? Hose?
You know, diagnostic trouble
What does
codes.
that even mean? Error 2, filter wet.
I have a friend who works on Mercedes vehicles.
Talk about codes.
Yeah, he put a photo up on social media. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it with my own eyes. In fact, I still don't believe it. But apparently the scanner said incorrect engine oil used. How does it know what the viscosity of the oil is?
Maybe it's got a viscosity sensor.
Like, that's the stupidest code I've ever seen.
I'm not sure this is going to be wide enough. I'm going to go through all this and have the same problem. Well, at least it'll be quieter.
Well, the Arctic Queen is respectable for a cheap piece of junk. I mean,
Performance-wise,
yeah,
yeah.
it actually does pretty good. It's just really noisy.
Which, I think that's all fan noise. Because look at the design of the impeller. It's like a vacuum impeller. It's not a regular blower wheel.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it looks like a paddle wheel.
So I think that makes a lot of extra noise compared to a regular, something with 40 or 50 teeth on it.
Meanwhile, the Friedrich Chill series has a blade that looks just like that, and
That's
that thing
a
is
good point.
exceptionally quiet.
That's a good point.
I don't understand.
Well, then maybe changing the blower wheel is not going to make any difference, because then maybe that's not the problem.
Actually, speaking of Friedrich Chill, that should make a nice tear down and cleaning video.
Yeah, that's another one I want to get to at some point. I thought about trying to rig that up in the studio window, because it does get hot down there.
That's a very good unit until the fan bearings go out, like mine did.
Well, that one, surprisingly, the bearings would seem to be okay still.
And if the bearings go, they are a standard size. I know because I changed them in mine.
What are they, 608?
They might be, actually. I think they're 608 double Z.
Zzz.
Sorry, I pronounced it incorrectly. You know, for a second I thought that frog was Yoshi out of the corner of my eye.
We have a joke at work with the bzzz because we have a guy who goes by the nickname Bones, and he signs his email BZ. Of course, one of the guys in my office got an email from him. Oh, it's from bzzz.
Actually, Bones as a nickname is kind of cool.
He's a nice guy. He does his job well. Most of the things he says make sense, which is kind of rare in that unnamed area that I work. Okay, so the problem here with this Arctic Queen is that the side panels are not long enough. But since I think we're going to have the same problem,
Cardboard to the rescue,
we're
right?
going to keep that around. And we're going to keep that around. And we're going to keep this around. And we're going to keep this around. We won't need this anymore because the register is designed correctly.
It's actually designed exceptionally well. It comes out at the top.
Yeah, that's how they all should be.
And it has 8-way adjustment, which is kind of nice.
Would you believe a lot of people was complaining in their reviews that it comes out the top? What's wrong with that? That's how it should be.
It's actually better because cold air sinks, so you want to blow it up and then it sinks down so the entire volume of the room is cool.
Right.
I would also imagine that the temperature regulation is probably a little bit better because the unit's less likely to recirculate the air coming out of the register over the thermostat.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall if I ever even used the thermostat. I think I always just turned it down all the way for the dehumidification
Oh, okay.
purposes.
That thing must be comically light.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, now the panels have been out too far and they're all screwed up. And for what it's worth, these sold for like $150. I think they were a good value.
You know, I'm probably going to piss off some viewers saying this, but when I was at the grocery store, they actually sell that model, you know, under some different brand name. It's the same
Some,
company.
I got like 15,
Yeah.
20, 30 different brands.
They sell that at the grocery store, and last year they were clearancing them for $50. I should have bought them all
And you should have bought
to
two.
flip them.
You should have bought two, and we drill a hole in one, don't drill a hole in the other, put gauges on it. That's what I want to do at some point. So we can put a technical end to all this stupid drain hole drilling, don't drill it, let it rust out drama. It's a little bit heavier than I thought it was.
My hand is just a tiny bit too big.
Oh, it's leaking all over the couch.
That's what you get when you drill a drain hole in it.
Yeah, guess what? That's rainwater that was on top of it. Did you get it? Yeah. We're gonna reuse that piece. You know what? With how hot it is today, this is dry up in half an hour.
Yeah, well, we have to use that piece because, contrary to what I said, these windows can't support 750,000 pounds. It's only 500,000 pounds.
It's got all over the floor, but
Did it really?
too. This is why this couch is always so dirty, because I'm always messing with stuff in this window. This stuff gets all over the couch. I don't like this window. It's kind of messed up. This side is. And it's hot. It's real hot out there.
Yeah, it's like 87 degrees out right now, according to the weather station rate.
Yeah, 88 was 71. It's over 71. That's hot. Yep, we're gonna have the same problem. It's actually worse.
What?
You know why these are like half the size of the other ones?
Was that right? We just have to bias it towards one side, I guess.
We need a longer piece of wood too.
Oh, too much
It's
of
just,
it.
it's just.
It's only
barely-
touching in one.
It's sitting on the thing. You know what we'll do? We'll just cut this piece in half. This is so stupid. I don't even want to do this install anymore. I can't believe it doesn't fit.
Tell me those are too small.
Well, I don't understand because it was sitting on it a few minutes ago.
Switch the two of them.
Is this wood so cheap that it's... Yep, that's the problem. The wood is so cheap that it sits on one side but not the other. Well, it kind of... Well, that doesn't warm me to 500,000 pounds, right?
No, it's only about 250,000
They
pounds.
should be able to hold it.
I wouldn't be putting a vintage unit in here, that's for sure, without something to support it.
I've had the Sharp 12K in here.
Without additional support?
With a 2x4 in the front.
Okay, well that's something. Do you want me to get those ribbon cutting scissors? Or do I should bring those to the office?
No, I didn't brought them in yet. I don't. Where are those?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
I know.
Fair point.
I don't even know what the things I use every day are.
What about this? This is probably too tall.
Yeah, I know where that is. It's right there.
Does this help at all?
If it was a full piece, I would have just used one of those instead of this stupid tube mess, but oh well. This will work. Just don't like it. Okay. That's in. Now we just have to deal with this, which is absurd. At least it's the same height. Where's the ribbon cutting scissors?
I don't know, that's why I just asked.
Oh, you think I know? I don't even know what the things are that I use.
I feel like we just had this conversation recently.
Sometimes things happen over and over again.
Well, the question is, can they cut bureaucratic red tape? No, they're probably not big enough for that.
I know that is. Yeah, it's gonna get a lawnmower for that. Here they are. I put them in the
They're in the coat closet.
What else would be in the coat closet?
I don't know, coats maybe.
It's summertime. You use coats in the summer?
Some people do. People who are 90 years old do. You have no idea how funny this looks on film.
This would be a good.
Two-man job. You want me to hold the cardboard?
Dang, these things cut really good.
Maybe they can cut through bureaucratic red
Look at
tape.
that slice through cardboard like it was nothing. These are good old scissors.
Those will cut your hand right off, probably.
They might.
Oh, that has a nice sound to it.
Yeah, got some good blades. Oh, this is making me so irritated. Now I spent all that time trying to fit the wood into there, and I just slid it off all the wood.
All right, I have to stop playing with the scissors.
You want to test them out? You cut that piece that's on the floor.
Guess I kind of have to, don't I? Wow, that went through like
Cut
it's
something
nothing.
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Me too. Those aren't even that expensive. Oh, I have multiple pieces here. This must have been going on for a while. The only problem with this is like, if it's real windy, it can blow in and a bird will come in the house or something.
Oh no!
So, I don't like this like this at all.
Well, what if you tape it from the outside? Tape the side panel from to the piece of cardboard on the outside.
You tall enough to reach it? I sure am not. It's a window on the second floor.
Well, I mean, they do have ladders.
What the
Don't
heck is that?
I don't know. I saw one in the garage once. All right. Rather than playing with these scissors, let me go get the ladder and.
No, I will good. We'll just tape it like this.
Okay. Or we'll just tape it like that.
Because once I clean up a vintage unit, I'm going to swap it anyway, so we don't have to go too crazy with this. We just need tape. It's rattling again.
Well, that's because it's a piece of garbage.
Yeah, what a piece of junk. My grandmother used to use this tape. When I would sleep over there, she would tape the window shade. She'd pull the window shade down and tape every single corner, so it was like an airtight seal. And she did this constantly. I kept telling her to stop. And so one day I just opened it up and let it go back up with all the tape on it.
What a mess.
Yep, and then I don't think she ever taped it again after that.
I don't know, blue painter's tape is just like one of those things that's synonymous with installing ACs and Windows.
It shouldn't be. I never use.
I can't take you seriously when you're holding those scissors in your hand. What are you doing
I
with
need
that?
a small piece to get the side panel open.
Oh, jeez.
Problem solved. This was okay with the other Arctic Queen because that's a cheap piece of junk. It could be a little ghetto, but this really should. I thought this was going to be better than this. I'm very disappointed.
From what I recall, this thing has a pretty good refrigerant gas sound too.
I don't remember that, but I could be recalling incorrectly.
I think one of us is right, and I don't know who it is. I would tend to believe the person who owns it would know, but
A nice clean cut.
I have a really stupid suggestion. Let me know what you think of this.
There's a surprise.
Ouch. Should we put the Arctic Queen back in the Harrier box?
That is a stupid suggestion. No, it's so lightweight it can just stack on top of 300 vintage ones.
Okay.
Because this, like I said, this is going back in there in a couple of weeks anyways. I got too many good vintage ones I want to use this year. This is going to pretty much run continuously though for the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's why it'll still get a lot of hours. I don't like that, but it'll work. It's airtight. Well, I can make this a little better anyway. Something else.
For a small room size, 10 by 20.
That's cap. A 10 by 20 is a huge room.
That is a
living
big
in a
room.
mansion?
But it also says 250 square feet. Now I can't do math in my head by any means, but I thought that 10 times 20 was 200. Maybe I'm wrong.
There we go.
You spelled Harrier wrong.
What?
Harrier.
It's not a carrier.
Harrier!
What? We'll plug it in with this so we can see the kilowatts meter.
Isn't that what the guys in the vintage AC collector group call them? Harrier?
I don't know. I don't get where that comes from. It's got nothing to do with carrier. when did the because carrier was with was it ICP or whatever it is? They were never with hair.
No. The joke is it's not hair, it's Harrier.
I don't get it.
I don't either, but
I'm not using it then. It could be stupid. Cut it out with that junk. I'm gonna bring those to work. I'm just using them at home.
I don't blame you.
Those are that cut better than any of the scissors I've ever used. Well, it covers the information.
Well, those things certainly aren't moving after you set them where you
I
want.
think this is only a 6-way. I only have 2 positions.
Okay.
So maybe that's why people are complaining in the reviews, because it doesn't have enough directions. You need one where it just kind of points into the evaporator.
Works better that way.
I hate the scissors again.
Any excuse to use the scissors.
Can you just cut this at the...
Right there?
Yep. Perfect. That cut pretty good, don't it?
Oh yeah, I'm impressed.
I hate this install. This is my least favorite install I've ever done. It's supposed to make it better, not worse. We got 121.8 volts over here. It's kind of high.
Sounds like you have a bit of a weak neutral.
You know what? It does. Let's check it in the kitchen. Because we have 2 outlets in the kitchen, one on both leg. There is a discrepancy. So I have to keep an eye on that. Oh, the whirlpool is on, so that's pulling one leg down.
Yeah, that's
If the whirlpool's on with that one, that's 20 something amps on one leg, so maybe that's why it's like that. Still seems kind of high to me.
The Whirlpool's still running?
Yeah, I took it back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So this is pulling. The electronics controls are always pulling 0.1 amps at 1.1 watts, and they have a power factor of 0.64. The power factor of the electronic controls is pretty poor.
Oh, here's the air filter.
Yeah, we gotta clean it still.
Oh, right.
You know what, let's clean that right now. and then it'll dry off as soon as we put it in the machine.
No, throw it back in when it's wet.
Yeah, yeah, it'll dry off once we put it in there. See, that's got the blue.
Yeah.
And that's a lot less, like, it's almost translucent. It's a big coil for a 6 guy.
Sure is.
I just washed the filter. It's still soaking wet. We'll just put it in.
No, don't do that.
Let's see if it throws a code. Oh, that's it. The unit just broke.
For what it's worth, that actually has a very fine mesh to it.
It does. The filter's pretty good. The heck, did it get bigger since last year?
What?
What?
Does it only fit in one way, maybe?
Oh yeah, you know, it goes in such that this stuff faces the inside, which is unintuitive to me.
That seems like the opposite of what it would. Whatever. Huh. Alright.
Swipe the codes off the bottom here. Okay. Ambient temperature appears to be about 77. That thing says 75. Where? Here it is. That's quiet.
Wow. That's amazing.
Real quiet. There's not a lot of vintage units that even get that quiet.
That's insanely quiet.
Yeah, I was very impressed with it. Those Quingian compressors are pretty loud. They should have chose a different brand. If this had reciprocating, it'd be on silent. Now if we go to medium, there's all that condenser noise. It's still a fairly quiet machine, but it could have been better. That's definitely quieter than the Arctic Queen. And it's pushing out a lot of air too for the noise.
Well, I mean, this is quieter than any other modern unit you can buy.
I think so, especially on the quiet side. There's like no fan noise.
It sounds like a refrigerator running from
Yeah.
kind of far away, and that's about it. That is astonishingly quiet. It's already going down to 49 degrees,
Yeah.
48.
It works pretty good for whatever it's worth. It's very cold. It dehumidifies really nicely on the low speed.
Yeah, the video doesn't do justice to how quiet this thing actually is.
Oh look, the filter's almost dry and there was no code. We'll see in like an hour or so, the whole coil will just be soaking wet. Humidity dropping off.
Pretty cool.
Alright, so we'll let that run for a while. It's 47, 46. We'll do some other things and then we'll come back and check on it. As far as the power draw goes, it's 4.2 amps, which is not much. I think it does go down considerably on the higher speeds though.
Jump up initially, of course.
Yeah.
Wow, that head pressure falls like stone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was already back to 4.2. So it's about the same, you know, within a couple hundredths of an amp. So it really is so much better to have the more airflow outside.
I guess the only time it's really worth running it on low is probably when you're sleeping.
Or just to dehumidify. Now it does have a stupid dehumidify setting, which, as you can see, it's the same thing. That's great. Alright, well that's working. It's on dehumidified right now because it's doing something different. What a scam. Dehumidify setting, it's the same thing. It's just dehumid. I'm over it. We'll come back in a little while. The machine has been running for about 1 hour and 41 minutes. It's drawing 4.14 amps, 478 watts. But a power factor of 0.96.
Wow.
41 degrees with 71 going in, so it's a 30 split on low, and you can see the coil is soaked. Water dripping down everywhere in there. So it dehumidifies very well on low, and it's extremely quiet. On medium, the temperature goes up to 41.8, 42. It's not a big climb. And then on high, which actually does move a decent amount of air. It goes up to call it 45, maybe 46. Oh, 45. That's still a pretty good split. Now the filter's dry, so we won't get any codes this time. I didn't do a very good job cleaning it, jeez. Well, any final thoughts on the Serenity Series?
I'm impressed. This is probably the only modern unit I'd be willing to buy.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a lot more than the basic ones, but I think it's worth it for the noise level.